I knew nothing about Down syndrome other than seeing people walk around from a care center by where we buy groceries. And I would watch them, and they would just walk around with their tongues hanging out. This was a concern for me, and so I told the therapist, and the therapist informed us that Joanna did not need to go around with her tongue hanging out. That all we had to do was touch her tongue and say, "Pull in your tongue," and then she would. After many times of this, one day I told her to pull in her tongue, and so she touched her own tongue and then she pulled it in. As she has gotten older, she has learned to control her tongue a lot better, but sometimes when she sits and relaxes, she forgets. One of her speech therapists told her soft lips, and that was a signal for her to pull her lips together and pull her tongue in and to have a nice soft lips on for her mouth. This really works, and we use it whenever she forgets and has her tongue protruding. Joanna's a fun person to have around. She has a sense of humor. Even though her speech is delayed, we can still understand a lot of what she says. And she gets frustrated when we don't. One of her speech teachers put a little chart on, and that a chart for her that we put on the wall, and it says, "If people do not understand you, and they ask you what, remember to slow your speech down." And she put a little turtle beside it, and to repeat what you said, and that has helped a lot too. But Joanna has learned to be a good helper. She likes to help with the grandchildren, her nieces and nephews, but also she is very good at helping with the housework. She enjoys um, straightening the house, and she is very task oriented. And so now she has a schedule as to how she straightens up the rooms, vacuums. She cleans the bathroom and clears the table and loads and unloads the dishwasher. She is off. Her daddy and her like to tease each other, and he will offer to clean out the silverware from the dishwasher. But his idea is to dump it into the drawer, and she is very upset when he does this, and so she will not let him touch the silverware. In the summer, when there is yard work to do, Joanna makes us a deal. She will stay in the house and clean while we go outside and do the yard work. When we come into the house is clean, and it is a very good deal because it makes us happy not to have to come back in and clean the house. Joanna has had relatively good health. She had virally induced asthma from the time she was born until she was about 3 years old. When she would get a virus, she would then get asthma, which required nebulizers and inhalers. Around the age of 3, a mom in the special program Pride that we were going to told us that children with Down syndrome have a depressed immune system. She said that her son had 10% of a normal child's immune system. She told me about echinacea. It helps boost the immune system. We began giving Joanna echinacea only when she was sick, and she has not had another asthma attack since then. Joanna has worn braces for many years because of the low muscle tone. Her ankles pronate, and of course, her feet have problems also. She has worn braces that go almost up to her ankle. I mean, from her ankle up almost to her knees until the last set that we got, and now they are shorter and they hold her feet, and now she can wear shoes that are not specific shoes. She can also wear these braces with her Sunday shoes, and so she is excited to be able to wear different shoes than she has before.
And 9. What school do you go to? evergreen.
Evergreen?
And
What's Dad doing right now?
we put a picture of my feet.
What are the bracelets for?
At my feet.
To help with you? Go ahead.
Red. And my daddy says that my missing leg. And my house last night. On Monday. Tuesday night. And
Our main goal for Joanna was that she reach her highest potential and be a contributing member of society, no matter how small. Once we realized this goal, we realized that the best we can do is to give her the life skills she needs to be able to be as sociably acceptable as possible so that she can function in society to the best of her ability. Being sociably acceptable entails having behaviors that are proper to the different situations. Discipline is a big part of this goal. Learning to have self-control is one of the main goals of discipline. Self-control starts a little bit at a time. One of the first steps we worked on for her was what I call the carrot. I strongly feel it is better to hold a carrot in front than a stick behind, like the donkey who has a stick with a carrot on it held just in front of his mouth, so he's always going towards it, rather than having the switch on the hindquarters. Finding what a child enjoys and wants to do is the carrot. Sometimes this is a very difficult process, but it is well worth the research. Joanna's carrot is TV. She would be a couch potato if we let her. Our TV is controlled for many reasons. There is no TV on school nights, and there are only movies and on Friday and Saturday night. Joanna was acting out at school. At home, when Joanna refuses to do chores or obey, we will just say, okay, no TV or no movies. She often then becomes very cooperative. We learned that we had to be consistent and that if we said no movies or no TV, we had to follow through. In grade school, we had a card system. If she was cooperative and did her work, she would bring home a green card. If she were not cooperative, she would get a red card. 2 red cards in a week meant that she did not get to watch a movie on Friday night. One Friday night, we had cleaned up the kitchen, or we were working on cleaning up the kitchen and getting ready to watch the movie she had chosen, when I found the second red card for the week she had put away, and so she was not allowed to watch the movie that night. And at first the teachers were very amazed that she did not get to watch her movie until I said, no, we have to be consistent. And Joanna learned to not only be honest, but also that we meant what we said. Joanna got in. When Joanna got into junior high and high school, we devised a different chart. It was called the star chart. And when she was cooperative and did her work, she would receive a star for each period, because now she had more periods, more classrooms, and more teachers. We also devised the three-strike rule, that if she were not cooperative, then she would get a strike. And if she got 3 strikes, then she did not receive her star for that period. Through the years of junior high and high school, she has learned to be cooperative, and so therefore we now only have a chart that they can either put a star on or leave it off. So she would be able to earn her stars by being cooperative and also doing her work. She likes movies, and so therefore we would decide a movie that she wanted to purchase. And then I just took a piece of graph paper and made a chart, cut out the words of a movie that she wanted to buy. Joanna loves to have parties with her friends, and so if she can, Joanna loves to have parties with, and so if she can, Joanna loves to have parties with her friends, and so if she were to get strikes, then we would mark off the word party, and then she would not be able to have a party with her friends. But if she came home with all of her stars filled in, then she would be able to get up as high as 6 marks that she would be able to, 6 squares that she would be able to mark off on her movie. And so then we had a yellow pen for the star chart, and of course the black pen was for the party chart or for the strikes. And so she would bring home her chart each night, and we would fill in the squares towards her getting her movie. And she was able to buy several movies through the year, and it depends on how long the word is as to how quickly she would be able to buy it. But she loves to play the piano, she loves to sing, and she really enjoys dancing. She really likes to dance to the CD that she has, and I think one of the best things about her is that she's, most of the time, she's happy. Of course, there are those moments, and our family has decided that the extra chromosome is for strong-willed, and she can become very task-oriented. And